New Orleans, a city drenched in history, music, and mystery. By day, it's alive with brass bands, coffee shops, and street artists. But when the sun dips below the Mississippi River, the city changes. The streets get quieter. The air feels heavier, shadows stretch too far. And sometimes in that strange hour after midnight, you might see him. The locals call him the Smiling Man. He's been here longer than anyone can remember. Some say he's just an urban legend. Others swear they've seen him with their own eyes, and a few never came back to tell the story. The earliest modern report we could confirm comes from 2009. A Tulane University student named Michelle Carter was walking home after a late-night study session. She avoided the crowded Bourbon Street and took a quiet side street known as Chartres Street. That's when she noticed him. A man tall, unnaturally thin, standing perfectly still under a flickering street lamp. He wore a black suit that looked decades old and a wide-brimmed hat pulled low over his forehead. His lips were stretched into a grin so wide it almost didn't seem possible. Teeth perfectly white, perfectly straight, but too many. She said it felt like his mouth was too big for his face. He didn't speak, he didn't blink. He just stood there grinning. Michelle tried to walk past without looking, but as she passed, he began moving slowly at first, then matching her pace exactly, she crossed the street. So did he. She turned a corner. So did he. Eventually, Michelle ducked into a 24-hour diner. When she looked out the window moments later, he was gone. At first, Michelle's friends laughed it off until similar stories started appearing online. A bartender posted about a man with a cartoonishly wide smile following him for 6 blocks. A tourist said she saw him leaning
against a wall, watching her for over a minute without moving a muscle. The descriptions were always the same: tall and thin, black suit.
Faint, but it makes your stomach turn. And once you smell it, you know he's near. So who is the Smiling Man? Some believe he's a ghost from the city's violent past. Others say he's a demon that feeds on fear, wearing a human face to lure his victims. The strangest theory comes from a retired detective. He claimed the Smiling Man is not from our time. That his clothes aren't just old-fashioned, they're exactly the same as reports from 70 years ago. The man has not aged a day. Witnesses describe his movements as slightly wrong. Like each blink comes too late, like his steps don't match the sound of his footsteps. One woman swore that when he passed under a street lamp, his shadow moved in the opposite direction. Whether he's real or just a story to keep people off the streets at night, there's one thing everyone agrees on: you don't want to meet him. Locals say if you see the Smiling Man 3 times, you vanish on the 3rd. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter who you're with. You just disappear. So if you ever find yourself in New Orleans after midnight and you see a tall man in a black suit under a flickering light, don't smile back. Don't make eye contact. And whatever you do, don't let him follow you. If you've made it this far, you're lucky others haven't. And if you want to hear more stories like this, stay close. Subscribe before the next one finds you first.